happening, everybody? Well, come on in, everybody. Come on in and join the show. Well, come on in, everybody. Come on in and hear the show. Yeah. You got to check out this little show right here before we got to go. What's happening, everybody? It's badbrad. Yes, indeed. Woo! Yes, indeed. We're glad to have you here. It is Backstage with badbrad, and this is episode, I believe, 67, if I'm correct. And man, I'm going to start right out the gate by cracking open a Red Bull, because I need this. I needs me a Red Bull right now. I needs me a Red Bull. Yeah, that's right, baby. Yeah, I needs me a Red Bull. Now, look. We want everybody to have a good time tonight. We got our moderators, Paul and Dave, are here tonight. Mike H. might pop in later. I'm not sure, but make sure you're kind to everybody. You adhere to the rules of common decency. And everybody have a good time, man. That's all we're all about right here. And glad to see Shane and Mike and Joey. I've got the feed here. If you have a question tonight, please start the question off with 3 question marks, and that way it'll pop up and I'll be able to see it a little bit easier. Oh man, I needed that. So I took a break from producing videos today. I did put out a video this morning for Rockstar members of the channel. It's about a 26 minute video about a fingering of the major scale that has a lot of legato stuff and everything. Tampa Fletch, glad to have you here. I am well, bass guy, glad to have you here. I guess are we springing forward tomorrow? That's what people are saying. So do we lose an hour of sleep tomorrow? Is that what's going on? We're losing an hour of sleep. Yeah, losing an hour of sleep. Well, why they gotta be messing with me? Man, I was just getting like on this schedule and just really starting to kick into high gear. And then they do this. They change it up. Well, glad to have Chris Michael J all the way from Australia, mate. And beautiful guitar he just got. Just had an awesome new guitar day. Beautiful green Gretsch. It's always a time to rock. Yes, indeed. Beer, bikes, and blues. Man, I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm glad to have some fun. I've got my setup here. You can now see. Oh, we got Gregory from Texas. Thank you so much, brother. I'm gonna hit the like and the heart on that. Thank you so much. There you go. So, man, thank you so much, Gregory from Texas. Man, he's been a huge supporter of the channel, and man, we thank him so much. J. Pat says he loved the backing track. Well, I've got another really killer. You guys saw the short I put the other day. It was like a funk short, and I've got this killer backing track for that. So I've got to do a video this week where I post another backing track for people to jam over, and maybe do a separate video where I show people. Some of the people wanted a really in-depth outline of what to play and all that stuff. So for people that just want to jam, I'll put the backing track up, and then I'll put up a separate video where I break down like kind of what to play over it and stuff like that. So yeah, and the lesson video up for Rockstar members today. I also put out for regular members today a new video about a parent coming to me wanting advice for the son. And look, it's something that now that people see my channel and hear what I do and all that, they are now coming to me and wanting advice about the what their kids should do and all that. Man, here's the thing, man, and even we've got people in here that are regulars of the channel, and they've got kids, and they know that ultimately you can try and guide a kid, you can try and say, hey, you need to do this. So ultimately, kids are going to do what kids are going to do. Nobody could tell me nothing. Ain't nobody telling me nothing when I was 18 years old. Good Lord Jesus. Let me tell you something. I know what you're trying to tell me. You don't need to be telling me nothing. So look, man, is the deal. Yeah, that's true. Randy Rhoads is the kid's hero. And I heard other stuff that he was doing too. Edward Van Halen and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when a parent comes to me and says, what does he need to do? I said, well, you gotta get versatile. You gotta be able to play other stuff than that. That's all fine and dandy. But I said, what's the end goal? So you're gonna have to wait till this video comes out because I don't want to give it all away. But yeah, David, we'll have some more backing tracks coming up, and I worked on a backing track today. Here's the deal, man. Basically, I write these riffs, and then I gotta build tracks around them. So I did like a hard rock track, dude. It's gonna be sick when that comes out. So, yeah, that's the deal. And there's also a couple more videos. I'm trying to kind of slow down the release of them. I would like to get my members section up to about 70 videos for the members because it's kind of been depleted with all the stuff that we've got going on with the family. But, yeah, I've got more videos on the way. There'll be a video tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't decided which one, but I'm going to make sure I put out a good one. Last week's video did really well on Sunday. So maybe this is a trend. Maybe Rockstar members, you get the lessons, these extended lesson videos, and maybe I just put these interviews on hold for a while. It's so much easier for me to work on my schedule and my schedule only, and rather than trying to nail down these interviews. That's not to say I won't do more interviews in the future, but it's just for now, I really got to focus on what we're doing here. So that's the deal. What if we have any questions? Bear, you're gonna have to wait till the video airs, but it looks like you're a member, so you can watch the video. If you're a regular member, you can watch that video. It's in the thing. So watch it after the live tonight. It's guitar advice or something like that. I forget what the title of it was. What's up, Alex Joff? Glad to have you here. I'm having a Red Bull and having some fun with you people here tonight. I'm glad to be here. We got Slow here. I'm always glad to have the regulars here. Erickson, Slow, Dave Strong, our moderator, Paul, who's like, he's the boss of the moderators, and Rhonda, we're glad to have here, and P-Funk. We got P-Funk in the house. Now, what we need to do sometime is get P-Funk on one of these live. We got to do the deal where it was like we did Randy O on the channel, and Randy O was live on one of these things. So we'll have to do a P-Funk live sometime. Let's have to do that. Or P-Funk, let's do an interview. I'll do an interview with P-Funk any day of the week. So we got to do that. We got to get together with P-Funk again. So Alex says last night he was working on Purple Haze guitar. So you're working on the song Purple Haze? Very cool. Bucky has a question. Does the smell of nitro bother you? It can be powerful sometimes. I don't like it. Bucky, I don't notice so much paint smells don't bother me. The one smell that does bother me is it's the smell of this whatever they're putting on those satin necks on some of the import guitars that come out. And I had actually treated a guitar with this. I forget what it's called, but it's got a really strong smell. Usually I don't have a problem with Fender or Gibson or PRS. But some of the cheaper brand stuff that comes out, I've got it in and I'm like, man, this thing's it's got a strong chemical smell. I mean, a lot of people like the smell of a Gibson guitar. People say it smells like vanilla. I don't know. Right on. Scotty is rocking a DJ gig, but he's still tuned into the Backstage show. Dude, that is friggin' epic. That is epic. So, yeah, man, paint jobs don't really bother me on a guitar, man. But I do prefer a nitro paint job. Like this Fiesta Red beast here. I know this thing is going to age the more I play it. My Les Paul, I noticed the other day when I was doing the amp demo on my channel and I got some close-ups on the Les Paul, I noticed it had gotten some really cool wear on it, probably, from taking it out on the road and stuff. That really, when I took that Les Paul out on the Eric Church Canadian thing, that's what I wanted. I wanted the finish to crack. I wanted, all of that stuff. Now, apparently, what people say, and you guys let me know if you know this. Apparently, they say that Gibson's nitro finishes are way thicker than they used to be, say, in the 50s. And that's where there's companies, historic makeovers, I guess, who do these refins of custom shop Gibsons, and they put a much thinner paint job on it because the idea that the less paint on it, the more the guitar can resonate. I'm not sure if the paint, type of paint makes a difference, but I will say that too thick of a paint job to me seems to feel like it chokes it out. So my question is this: if historic makeovers are making money refinishing and redoing, even like custom shop Gibson guitars, why isn't like Gibson going, hey, how can we improve what we do so that people don't have to do that? I know that Paul Reed Smith seems like he's always like improving his instruments. He's always like doing something to just anything he can do to fine tune them. So the thickness of the finish to me chokes it out. Supposedly PRS switched to nitro at some point within the last few years. But their finishes were some of the thinnest of any of them. Even when they were using poly, they were using a super, super thin coat. So I don't know, man, but I like my guitar. If I'm gonna take it on the road or I'm gonna play it a lot, I like it to get nicks and scratches on it, stuff. I like it to show that I've put the time into it and all that. So that's the deal. Yes, everybody hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Beer Bikes. I'm gonna crack open one of these sparkling, and it almost feels like a 2 Red Bull night tonight. What do you say? So you think it doesn't sustain enough? I'm not sure that it's sustain. I'm thinking it's resonance, and I know that's like something you really can't measure, but it feels like a guitar with a thinner finish. I can feel it. Like I remember, I think it was Carl Verheyen, talking about going up to a guitar when it's hanging on the wall. Now you can feel that when I touch this, right? I can feel it vibrating here. I can feel it vibrating in my hand. If you not every guitar is gonna that's gonna be the case. So think about that. Next time, try that. It's why when I pick up a guitar in the store, a lot of times I'll just look at them and I'll look at something and go, I don't want this. I can just sometimes it might even be something that I want, and then I get it up close and I go, nah. I can just tell that's not gonna really work for me. And then other times I'll grab it because I'm like, I really want to feel what one of these feels like, and I'll grab it and I'll hit one chord and it'll just be dead. Like, listen to that, dude. This is nothing on. I mean, this thing rings, right? So that's my thing, man. This is I'm gonna try to turn. I got my iPad kind of bleeding in here. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing that. I don't think you are, but I noticed it's kind of trailing behind. Let me see if I can turn that down. Trying to run this. Let's see. Is that? Yeah, there we go. Got it completely off. Yeah, you could go and have a bought. You'll still be hearing that one. Man, the thing is about all of this stuff is, one, does the guitar feel good in your hands? Does it ring when you hit? Does it have natural sustain? Okay, Gregory's got a question. Do you ever dampen the tremolo springs from vibrating? That can be an issue. As you can see with my Strats, generally I usually end up taking this off. And yes, these springs will ring, and sometimes they'll have really weird overtones and stuff like that. But hopefully it's not something that's, negative towards the tone. I don't usually do anything to mute it. I suppose if I was on a session and the producer said, "Hey, I can hear your springs back there. Let's put a piece of foam back there." As long as you're not using your bar, you can put a piece of foam back there. But I never, they've got springs. What is it? FU bridges or whatever. They've got springs that you can that don't resonate and all that kind of stuff. But man, you know what? I don't usually have a problem with that. It's not usually a problem. Michael Lee is saying, do you ever experiment with multi-effects and regular pedals? Of course. I've experimented with multi-effects and regular pedals tons. And these days, man, I'm either running an amp that I'm demoing on the channel, or I'm using the Helix, and that's pretty much it. My pedal boards are all kind of in their cases, and they're there in case I decide to go play a live gig or something. So we got a question from Bucky. Do you care about rosewood fretboard or Indian laurel or Powell ferrule? I love both rosewood and Powell ferrule. Bucky, that is a great question. Thank you for asking me that question. I absolutely do not like Indian laurel at all. I don't like it, and my daughter's got a classic vibe Strat in the other room. In fact, I've been meaning to grab that, put on some strings, oil up the neck, and maybe just demo it on the channel. But when I bought it, I never had seen the Indian laurel, and I got it with the Indian laurel, and I'm just like, this is not like the previous classic vibe guitars that I had in the future. So, I don't like Indian laurel at all. I like Powell ferrule, or whatever you say it. I like that, okay, but it definitely does not look like rosewood. It's got its own thing. I like it, okay. I like either rosewood, maple, or ebony. I can roll with any of those. Rosewood is a little bit darker. It seems like what the pickups pick up is a little bit of a darker tone. Maple seems a little brighter, and ebony might even be a little more brighter than maple. So that's it. Grind Pivot, glad to have you here. Yes, we are well, and we are rocking and rolling. Paul Revere is greater than Paul Reed Smith. He probably is. Ebony Eyes by Bob Welch. Rhonda, that's a great song. Here's the thing. When I see a black guitar, I think every black guitar should have an ebony fretboard. I just think that looks incredible. It's like a Les Paul custom. They set the standard for that. Ebony is a beautiful wood, man. It's just, I really, every guitar I've ever had with ebony, I love. The guitar I played on the Strip a lot, my Zion Turbo Strat, that had a ebony fretboard, and that was a beautiful guitar. Chris Richardson says, what's up, Brad? Keep rocking and get those likes up. Yes, let's keep rocking and let's get the likes up. Abso-friggin-lutely. And there's this little heart thing over here. I'm going to press that. Now, Roy Harper is saying, love this content. Thank you so much, Roy, dude. You rock, bro. You rock. I'm going to hit the heart on that. You've got those heart things going on here. We've got lots of... Roy's been a great supporter and been commenting. And all of you guys that leave these super chats and the comments and everything, man, you help the channel out immensely. And man, I'm blown away, man. Gregory, I even mentioned Gregory in, I think, a walk and talk that maybe I haven't released yet. But I said, he said a comment the other day, and he probably didn't even see that I saw it because it was literally the channel was getting shut off. And he said, God give Brad the strength to keep doing the work he needs to do, or something like that. And I was like, man, that's like awesome. This week, man, I got so much done. I did so many videos, and of course they all don't get released right away because I don't want to flood the channel with videos. So there's still a couple videos I did last week that have not been released for members even yet. And those will come out probably in the next couple days. But you know what? Tomorrow is Sunday, and I'll try to get something done tomorrow, although it is what it is. Ace is in the other room barking and driving me crazy, which is completely distracting. And I told my daughter if he's barking to just go in her room so he'll stop barking. But I have to just keep going. David saw the new Epic Elvis Presley in concert movie. Says Epic was epic, must see. I absolutely agree, man. But I will say, IMAX was incredible. IMAX was just mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. Seeing it in the regular film theater was good, but I noticed the mix was different. The speakers in the regular theater didn't have the thump that the IMAX, dude, it was like going to an Elvis concert. It was like pretty much being in the front row. Leanne, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you so much. We're having an amazing night. And this is incredible, man, because, last week I missed a week 2 weeks ago. Last week, we got it back up and going again. I've got the system down now with the video. I've got the audio. We've got the guitar. And I'll tell you this, man. I did the demo for the amp company this week, which I still can't talk about. I cannot mention when it goes live. And here's what's going to happen. When this demo video goes live, and it's a short one, the one I did for the company, but I did an extended cut for my channel. But by request, it was like, keep it at this length, and we want people to watch the video over and over again. So I get it. I'll give you the best bits, right? So that video, was completed, and now we're just waiting for them to basically build their stockpile up so that when the video drops, they'll have all the amps already ready for pre-order. And that's a super smart way of doing business now. Now with the way the internet is and all of this stuff, and building your stuff and having everything together, man. I hope that this is a record thing for this company. I almost slipped and told you what company. I hope that this amp launch is hugely successful. But here's the cool thing. It's going to be listed as a collab. So when this video drops, it's going to be the amp company with badbrad, like a collaboration. So that video is going to drop, and then once that video drops, maybe I'll work it out with them and let them, tell me if they want mine to drop at the same time or drop a few days later or a week later or whatever. But that is going to be cool. So you're going to see basically a collaboration between me and a really big amp company. So that's really cool stuff. Bucky's got a question. Did you ever find your number one guitar Excalibur? What was it? Mine is a PRS SE Santana model. Bucky, I've got several Excaliburs. This is my Excalibur Strat. And if the only thing that would make me sell this would be abject poverty, which so this is my number one Strat. My number one Les Paul is the one that everybody's seen on the channel. It's a Les Paul tribute, but it's a great guitar. And yeah, so that's the deal, man. That's the deal. But yeah, this is my favorite. I love that. I've never really been a one guitar guy, although once I get on a roll with an instrument, if I was on the road, I would probably, like for a long time, I had my Candy Apple Red Strat, which is hanging over my shoulder here, and that was my number one guitar on the road. Godzilla isn't number one. Godzilla is here, and Godzilla is probably the number one guitar in my collection. But I haven't played it. I haven't owned it as long as the other guitars. The Purple Strat, I have no intention of selling that Purple Strat. Ericsson, it's really not worth anything. It's all parts, and that's the deal. So, Mad Max, glad to have you here. So. Max says I need the King Kong guitar. Man, I think the Godzilla thing really opens up a lot to, I really think there should be superhero guitars. I would love to have a Superman Strat. When I was a kid, I liked Batman, but Superman was my favorite. And if you notice, dude, and I think Superman was before Elvis, but Superman had the Elvis blue-black hair with the little curly Q in the front and all that. You know, little blonde-haired Elvis in Tupelo, Mississippi was reading comic books and wanting to look like a superhero. So I was watching an interview today, and it was an inside information about Alan Holdsworth in the last years of his life. And man, it's so sad to hear, but Alan just loved going down to the pub. And so much so that it got to a point where he couldn't even if they raised a bunch of money for him to do a record, he couldn't get anything done. Grover says, Brad inspires me to pick up my guitar, then I put it down and grab a bowling ball. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, we're moving on up. Bucky says, if I want to record with a singer, should I ask them or their agent or who? Well, it depends on who it is, Bucky, and who you are. And do you know them? If you know them, then just ask them. You know, and some people are for hire. Some people will do it, and other people will blow you off. It never hurts to ask. Yeah, Alan Holdsworth, rest in peace. Here's another thing, and think about this, and I'll probably have to do a whole video on this. It really struck me that they were on a gig with Alan. And first of all, this guy went to some Alan Holdsworth gigs, and he was working with Alan, helping him get funding to record and stuff like that. And he went to see him at a gig, and there were like 8 people there. And Alan was on the mic saying, hey, if you guys could buy some merch, please buy some merch, because we don't have enough money to buy a hotel room, get a hotel room tonight. And I'm just like, man, that's just insane. That's insane. And then it gets to the point where he gets on these gigs and he goes, I can't play those chords anymore. I can't, my hands, you know, your hands after a while are not going to be able to do those contortions. I mean, I try to, if I feel any weird stuff, and if I try to play stuff that I used to be able to play, you know, I'll back off. If it's, you know, a lot of times when I'll do these shreds at the end of the lives and stuff like that, I'll try to play something and it doesn't always come out. And that's just that kind of that age thing. It's also the mind works slower now. So here's the other sad thing about the Alan Holdsworth thing. They were remarking in this interview that Keith Emerson was having the same issue where he wasn't able to play his organ stuff like he did when he was young. And he was so distraught about it that he eventually, you know, ended it. And not to, you know, get into that dark territory, but man, think how tough that is to make your living being this virtuoso. Eventually, man, you're not going to be able to do that stuff. Trust to Dads is asking, when do you think you peaked, or have you still gone further to go? My thought is that I'm a better player now because I'm wiser. But, I mean, speed and chops and stuff like that, probably fresh out of GIT. I was probably peaked. I played the graduating ceremonies. I had played a fusion song at the thing. I've been practicing and going to school at GIT for a year. I was probably most dangerous then. Joining a Sunset Strip band and all that, while it was fun and hanging out with my friends and all that stuff, that wasn't really musically challenging. It was challenging to write riffs and try to come up with cool solos and play in a band and get along with everybody and stuff like that. But it wasn't like blindfolding yourself and trying to play over, you know, jazz changes or something like that. That was probably the peak back then. But you know what, man? At the same time, I didn't know SHIT about tone or half of the stuff that I know now. Now I can pretty easily get a good tone, even just throwing a mic on an amp. But back then, man, I would go into a studio situation or something like that and be, hey, it doesn't sound right to me. It's not what nowadays I can throw a mic on one of these amps and get a good guitar tone. Somebody is asking about the Ultimate Doors. I think I've seen some videos on them. Let's see, what else we got? Wish we could, you could clean up the old VHS. You just can't make VHS, these old videos from the past. You can only do but so much with them. There's just not, it just is what it is. Now we've got better stuff. And, you know, I even reached out, I'll tell you, because I've got this channel, I reached out to GIT and said, and wrote a letter to their audio visual department, said, hey, way back in 1987, I went to your AV department with a VHS cassette and paid money for you guys to dub me a cassette of me playing at the graduating ceremonies. And I never, every time I went back, I never got my copy. Is there any way in your archives that I can get a copy of this? Hey, I've got a YouTube channel. I'd love to promote the school, you know, whatever. You know what you get back? You get back nada, bro. You don't even get a reply back. So, you know, that was professionally shot. But I never saw it. Never had a copy of it. So Mad Max is saying he definitely feels he's a better player now. I think I'm absolutely a better player now. A lot more economical player, and yeah. So Bucky says, do you have a favorite set of pickups? My favorite are Seymour Duncan Hot Rodded. I think Bucky, for Strat pickups, custom shop, I don't even know what's in these, but for a Strat, to me, these sound as vintage as they can get. And I think Fender in their custom shop pickups, now I'm not a huge fan of the Texas Special and some of the Fat Strat, 150s Fat Strat. I'm not a huge fan of those, but they're custom wound like Josephina and stuff like that, man. Those are great Strat pickups. I got that bare knuckles pickup in my Les Paul. Look, man, I can work with whatever pickups you got. I can work with whatever. So I can't really say I have a favorite, but yeah, that's the deal. And we got Michelle here tonight. Thank you for joining us. We've got Scott Petrie here, dude. Got a cough here. I'm still lingering on the cough, but I'm so much better now, man. Glad to have everybody here tonight. And let me know, what's the like count tonight? Is asking any stories. I mean, what kind of stories you want, man? Shane Shrimp, the most important question of the night. Curious to know if you've ever been on that turtle floaty in your pool. No, I have not been on that. I don't even, man, I've been in the pool like literally like twice. And the second time I got in it, it was just my feet. So, I mean, you know, I told my wife, look, I'm just not much of a pool guy. I'm more likely to just get on the chase and take my shirt off and get a tan. But the whole process of having to get the swim trunks and do all that, I'm not a flip-flop guy. but hey, summer's coming up, and things can change. Thank you, Scott. Now I've got this guitar tuned down a whole step. Now that I'm not having to be in Nashville and play gigs in standard tuning, I'm starting to realize, man, I really like playing guitars tuned down. Got this tuned down a whole step. Here's the thing. Wife is out of town. I'm managing Mia and I'm managing Ace, and Ace is in the crate. I can't have him scratching at the door while I'm trying to do my live. I had to bribe my daughter to let me do this. I said, please let me come on and do my live tonight. And yeah. Mad Max is asking if this is the stadium. Yes, this is the stadium. And check it out. So this is the stadium out into the Black Star Polar Go, which is sitting right here. And here's the deal. It's mono. This is mono because the Black Star Polar Go input is mono only. And they said that mono sounds best for people watching on phones and stuff like that. You're going to have a stronger signal. Here's something I realized the other day. And I don't know why this is. These companies that have these, that do these presets for these things, and it doesn't matter what it is. And they get these well-known players to do these presets. And when I buy the unit, you know, the unit, I turn on the presets and I'm usually kind of underwhelmed. Well, so I basically did some of my own presets, and I didn't expect my presets to sound better than these really smart guys that spend all this time with the product. I mean, I just get the thing. I'm telling you, the presets that I did, I'm going to have to figure out a way how to sell my presets. Because I'm telling you, dude, my presets, and it's not that I spend hours and hours dialing it in, but my presets blow away the presets that come in the thing. Just 3 or 4 of my presets blow it away. So I'm hearing this in here, Eric, through my stereo monitors, but what you're hearing is the direct signal from the Helix Stadium into the Polar Go with a 1/4-inch jack. So you might be hearing a little bit of bleed, but I don't have it cranked in the room. So mostly what you're hearing is a direct signal. So yeah, I need to, I'm going to look that up this week. I might have to do a website and sell presets. My Blues Lawyer preset, that's my Dumble stuff for my Fusion, Steely Dan. That preset is great. My JCM, this is a JCM 800 right here. Digital, I'm using the built-in mics on the Polar Go for my voice. But what you're largely hearing is it direct in. If I could show you here, if I can tilt this down and you could see it. See the Polar Go right there? Can you see it? There's a 1/4-inch jack going in here. That's straight from the what is it? Straight from the Helix Stadium. So there's a jack going into that, and that's the feed from the, you hear the direct, which is going to be better, which is better sound than a non-direct signal. Yeah, it's going straight to the phone. So the Polar Go has a USB-C out that's going into the phone. It's got a headphone thing, so a lot of times I'll test the signal with headphones. I can also tell if it's overriding. Like I can bring the guitar up. Hear how it's getting louder? Then I see the red, so I back it off. David says, can you show us that descending lick slowly? Do you have a favorite amp? Bucky says, I like the Boss Katana. Bucky, the two amps, actually the Synergy is probably my overall favorite amp setup that I have here. So can you show us that descending lick? Which descending lick? That one? That one? That one? What streaming software are you using on your phone? On my phone, it's just the YouTube app. Just the YouTube app. So I play somebody who makes super fast. That's probably kind of what I was doing. I'm just guessing now. There's a lot of like ghost notes in there. Right? But it's really there's a lot of like in between stuff. It's so yeah, the Black Star HT stuff, those are good. David Sherling, thank you so much, brother. I hope that helped you, man. I hope that helped. about this Strat is it's got big frets on it. It's got big ass frets on it, and that's bit chromatic in place with the blue. Yes, great questions tonight, man. And look, I'm gonna also say for everybody, don't you have a birthday soon? Brad Scott is asking. August. I'll be 60 in August. 60 years old, dude. I got to do something epic. Maybe I got to book a jam or something. Maybe I got to hire some musicians to come down and jam. I got to do something, and it's gonna have to involve people on the channel. So, Shane is saying, did you ever play hard rock metal gigs after you left the Sunset Strip, or just primarily country and blues? Well, I didn't primarily play country. Primarily played a lot of funk and R&B with like funk bands and R&B bands. I'm not sure if... I did play with a rock band for a while. I played with a 90s rock band in probably like around the year 2000 or so, an alternative rock band. And we did try to get them signed, and I was the lead guitar player for them, and I still looked young. So I was playing with a bunch of 20-year-olds, and I was like 30s, probably 33. So I did play rock. I mean, look, off and on, man, I would do all kinds of stuff. In fact, that band was called Teller, and I think there's still some tracks online. I played on the album, and then these guys were 20 and like potentially could have gotten a deal. I thought they were pretty damn good. Singer was real good, and it kind of sounded like late 90s shoegazer type rock. Center Hill, dude, glad to have you here. So Scott says, have you ever heard Slapdragon? I have not heard that. I'll tell you something that I learned today. Alan Holdsworth did not think of scales. And this is something that it's dawned on me. He viewed the guitar as an abacus. Now, you know an abacus, when you slide those little things over, think of each fret position as part of the abacus. And if the abacus is, if you're playing this, that's C mixolydian. But if your abacus is C Dorian, right? Or C major. Abacus. Think about that. That's why I've gotten to a point, man, where I don't really think about scales. I just think about tones of notes. CC, what's happening? Hey, CC. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we're at the 7:58 mark. Lord Jesus. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So Paul is saying maybe another Shut Up and Play video. Yes, there is one currently up for members. And so I'm not going to put out one tomorrow. Everybody's going to be all screwed up with this time change tomorrow. So I tell you what, I'm going to put out a good video tomorrow morning. But I'm not going to try to make people watch an hour-long video when you're all jacked up from this time change nonsense. So everybody make sure you get a good sleep tonight. I'm going to put out a good video for you guys tomorrow, but it'll probably be a regular, there's a time change tomorrow, Lee, and it's the spring forward, right? Bucky's saying, how do you feel about Plex service? I think it's great, but not all guitars need it. Tommy Rad, thank you so much. Thank you, brother. He must be tuning into the early part of the video. Thank you so much, brother. The ravages of time, baby. You got to feel the ravages of time. If you don't feel the ravages, baby, well then you're gonna have to be mine. Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. Leave that time alone. Right? Something like that. I'm in a good mood tonight. Tommy says, thank you so much, brother. Here's the cool thing. This guitar with these jumbo frets, it's easier to do the legato stuff. But without a humbucking pickup, you don't get quite as much drive. So it's 8:03. Man, we've had an amazing time tonight. I want to thank our wonderful moderators. I want to thank everybody for joining us and having an amazing time tonight. I want to thank everybody on the super chats. Thank everybody for making tonight absolutely friggin' awesome. And man, I'm going to raise a toast to you. If there's any last questions or anything anybody's got to ask, yes, I took, let's see what we got. So that's the deal, man. Tomorrow morning, we're going to put out a video. I'm not going to put out a long one. I'm not going to put out an interview. I'm going to put out a good one, put out a strong one, but I ain't going to put out a long one. If you know what I'm saying, I'm going to give it to you strong, but it might not be necessarily long. See what I'm saying? So tomorrow, we'll have a good video. Everybody spring forward and have an amazing evening. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you on the next video. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing evening. We have one last salute to everybody. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. We'll put the guitar here. We'll say goodbye to the guitar. And thank you all. I will see you on the flip.